let's get started. So today's session is about graphic design for beginners. Before we start this session, what is your feedback on the previous four sessions? You were able to understand it well. You are able to apply it in your assignments. Ritika, Vishakha, Vishanya.
Yes, sir, we will able to understand it.
Okay, all right. Are you using, you're applying those concepts only for the assignments, or are you using it in your other posts and other things that you are doing in the daily life?
Besides assignment, we are also using it other things.
Okay, great. Yeah, once you practice it, you will see the benefits of what you are learning. And if you make it in your regular thing, you will start creating your brand identity as well. All right, so let's get started. So tell me, what is a graphic design? What do you understand by graphic design? Anyone? Vedika, Vishakha, Ishanya. What do you understand by graphic design? What comes in your mind?
So designing something using digital means.
Okay. Yeah. So graphic design is just like, storytelling without any words. And you do it by using pictures, by using shapes, the colors, the styles to share an idea or a feeling, right? It can the benefit of using graphic design is it can make a boring information very interesting and very easy to understand. Okay, now on to the slide. You can see on the right side there are two images. Both these stalls are selling the lemonade, right? Now if you are going to make it colorful, well designed, with a catchy slogan like "Cool down with fresh lemonade," there are likely chances that people will stop by at your stall than the stall which is just saying lemonade 50 cents, and that too on a plain paper. So that's the beauty of the graphic design. Now, if you look at the a school notice, that can look as dull as a plain text, but with a good design, it becomes attractive and people want to read it. You must have observed in your school as well. A good graphic design would always combine the text, the images, colors, and the layout so that whatever is being communicated through that design is effectively communicated. Now, text, the words are very important, but the choice of font, the size, and the placement can make the huge impact. Again, on to the images. Images can be simple photos, it can be illustrations, it can be icons that can help explain and connect emotionally. Again, on the colors, each color has a mood, right? So, depending upon what is that you want to convey, what is the mood you want your audience to consume, you have to use that um, color. For example, if you're using red, it depicts energy. Or if you're using blue, that depicts trust. Or if it is green, it is mostly associated with nature and the environment. And lastly, the layout, how you arrange everything on a page or a screen or on a poster, it's very, very important. It has to be very easy to follow. And where do you use this graphic design? You mostly use this in branding, marketing, education, social media. Every day, all around you, you see those graphic designs. Now, in marketing, you can create the posters, you can create the ads, you can create the product packaging so that you can attract your customers. In the branding, you would see in the form of logos, the business cards, the visual help, your style, all those things help people to remember your brand, your business, right? Again, it is connecting to the personal branding. The choice of font, the size, the style, the colors, which connects with them, they will always recall. Now, in education, you use graphic design in the form of infographics, the e-learning slides, the worksheets, which makes it more fun to use. And in social media, you see it every day in and out. The posts, the reels, the stories, they are mostly using the graphic design, right? And if it is designed well, it catches your attention. If it is not designed well, there are likely chances you will ignore it. Now let's look at what makes a design a good design. Four things that you have to keep in mind when you are designing something. Okay. One is the color, second is the typography, third is the images, and fourth is the layout. Now, why colors? Because colors evoke the emotions, it helps define the personality of your brand, right? For example, if you're using the warm colors, red, orange, and yellow, it is evoking the emotions like energy, excitement, and passion. You can use cool colors like blue, green, purple, that evokes calmness, trust, and professionalism. You should always design your color palette. Have 2 to 4 main colors for consistency. Okay. And always ensure there is a contrast between the text and the background for better readability. If you're using dark colored backgrounds, then your text should be light colored. For example, um, if you go to a kid's toy shop, they will use bright, cheerful colors. But if you go to a law firm, they would use muted and professional tones. The same thing you can see in their dress up as well. Kids usually prefer colorful clothes, whereas a law firm, the advocates, they are usually in dual tone only, either white or in black. Then comes the typography. Now, when I say typography, it is basically the fonts and the style. Fonts help set the tone and makes the text easy to read. You should limit yourself to 2 to 3 fonts mainly, one for heading, one for body text, and one for optional accent font. If you want something to be emphasized, then you can have this accent font. Otherwise, at least one font for the heading and one font for the body text is good enough. And you should choose the fonts that match your brand style. If you have observed the fonts very closely, there are round and bold fonts, for example, Aptos, that gives the feeling that it is a fun, playful business. Or you can have the professional or serious fonts, which are very clean, they are very simple. For example, sans serif, widely used. You should avoid over decorative fonts for long texts. People tend to use those fancy fonts, and if you are using it for the long text, there are likely chances your customer will get disconnected with the brand identity. You should always maintain the consistent size and spacing wherever you are using your text. If you observe SAS Foundation, we always use graphic. Graphic is one of the font types. Graphic regular is what you are seeing onto the screen. And in the title of the slide, we are using graphic medium, right? Same font family, but two different fonts. One to make the impact, the other is for the general body text. Then comes the images. Now, images always, capture the attention and try to communicate faster than the words. You should always use high quality and clear images. Avoid any blurry images or pixelated photos until unless there is a good reason to use it. And your images should always be relevant to your messages. People should be able to connect to those images and what you are showing on to the screen or in the poster or on the banner. They should be able to relate to it. Avoid cluttering by not overcrowding a lot of pictures onto the banner or onto your design. And always try to use royalty free sources. There are many. You can use Pixabay, you can use Pexels, you can use Unsplash, you can use FreePic. Recently, it has been rebranded as Magnific. And for the icons, you have this flat icons you can use, or you can use your own photos that you have clicked. You should edit them lightly for just the brightness, contrast, and the alignment. Don't do heavy editing onto the images until unless there is a good reason to do it. That will create the good impact. Once you have decided onto the colors, typography, and the images, next is the layout, how you are going to position all these items together. So your layout will determine how the viewers are going to process your design, how they are perceiving your brand identity. You should use hierarchy wherever possible, right? Your important elements like the headlines, etc., should be big and bold. Rest of the stuff should be relatively smaller, and uh, unless there is a need to emphasize, it should be in regular form. There should be a visual flow. The viewers should be able to look at the poster conveying the idea. It has to either convey left to right or it has to convey top to the bottom, right? You have to maintain the white space for clarity. It should not be too much cluttered with a lot of text and a lot of images. Wherever you are using the text and the images, make sure it is aligned well and they are aligned neatly. Always group the related items so that it does not create the confusion. We'll do a small exercise and see how the colors, typography, images, and layout play an important role in a poster. Have a look at this slide. Look at the design onto the left and look at the design at the right. What do you feel the left design is conveying? Although it is a bad design, why do you feel it is a bad design? Anyone? Kritika, Vishakha?
It is a bad design as
Why it is a bad design? Why? What is bad in
uh,
this?
it is not systematic.
Okay. When you say systematic, it means not well aligned, is it?
Yes,
Okay. What happened? My screen is not being shared, is it? You're able to see the screen?
yes,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. What else do you observe based upon the four things that we understood from the previous slide? What other things do you observe that classifies this as a bad design? How about readability? Is it readable enough?
No, sir.
How about the alignment of the text, the colors, the variety of fonts? Some text is slanted left, some text is slanted right, some is very tiny, some is very large. So basically, when you look at a design and you do not connect with that design, is what your customer would also be experiencing it if it is not designed well. So let's look at the four elements, principles that you should follow whenever you're creating a graphic design. Balance, contrast, alignment, and repetition is very, very important. Those are the four principles you have to use whenever you are preparing a graphic design. When I say balance, it means distributing the elements evenly for harmony. Okay. Balance will make your design look stable and pleasing to the eyes. There are two types of balances that you can create. One is the symmetrical balance, which means both sides should look the same, just like the mirror images. For example, a poster with a title centered at the top and equal margins on the both sides is a symmetrical balance. The other balance is the asymmetrical balance, where the sides are different but still feel balanced. For example, you have a big image on one side and the smaller text boxes on the other side. Now, without a balance, a design can look very heavy on one side and will make the viewers very uncomfortable. What do you think on this slide? What kind of balance is there? Symmetrical or asymmetrical?
Asymmetrical.
Sorry,
This is asymmetrical.
asymmetrical or symmetrical?
So this is asymmetrical.
Okay. Why do you say it is asymmetrical? It is a symmetrical design. The both sides look the same. The images on the left and on the right are equally spaced from the margin. Both are of the same size. And if you were to cut this slide at the center, you would see it is kind of a mirror image, right? So this is symmetrical in that sense. In case I replace the good design image with several boxes covering that area, it would become a asymmetrical balance. Okay. Then comes the contrast. Now, contrast is very important to highlight the key points. Contrast automatically attracts the attention to the most important part of your design, right? Now, you can create the contrast. There are several ways to create the contrast. One, you can create the contrast using the color. You can have a light text on the dark background or dark text on a light background. The other is creating the contrast using the size. You can have the big headings versus the smaller body text, or you can create the contrast by shapes. For example, you can have the round buttons next to the square boxes. Now, if you're creating too little contrast, everything blends together and the key messages get lost. If you're using too much contrast, then the design would look very chaotic. Now, whenever you want your headline stand out, always use a different color, different font size, or you can even increase the boldness around that. The third thing is the third principle is the alignment. Why alignment is important? Because it keeps all the elements visually connected and looks very neat. It has to look organized and it has to look connected. You align your text, you align your images, shapes, whatever elements you are using in your graphic design. It has to be left to right or center, but don't scatter them. Look at the bad design on the left side. You see everything seems to be sprinkled there. Whereas on the right side of the screen, where you see the good design, it is basically showing how the things have been organized. And you connect with that. Okay, this is what it is communicating. On the left design, you have to figure out what is that the person wants to convey through this poster. Okay, a good alignment will also always help your consumer or the viewer move across smoothly across the design. And the poor alignment, which you see on the back design, you can give an impression that you are not professional, right? And the eyes are struggling what to read. Should I read this text or should I read that box, or should I look at the red boxes or should I look at the pink boxes? There's an image, there's a helmet, there is a ball, it's very confusing, right? Last is the repetition. Now repetition creates the consistency. Now repetition does not mean that you have to write everything twice or three times, but you should use the same elements multiple times so that the design feels cohesive, right? For example, you can use the same font style for all the headings. You can have the consistent color palette. You can repeat the icons and the shapes for the visual rhythm, right? Remember, anything and everything you are doing around the business, you are actually contributing towards the brand identity. And you should make your designs instantly recognizable. Oh, okay, this is that brand, right? For example, if your business is using blue and yellow, keep using those same shades across all the posts and the posters. Okay. You must have observed this in our presentations as well. We are using the same principles in all the presentations. We'll see the same layout, same fonts, same size, same colors. I mean, we also have a palette. We use the same palette. The things are organized. We don't scatter the things so that it gives a very professional outlook of our brand. All right. Now you can make the graphic design with several tools. One of the tool is Canva, which is free to use. And we are not promoting Canva, but we are telling that this is one of the tools that you can easily use. It is very intuitive. You can use other tools as well. Last time we spoke about Adobe Express. You can use that. There are other tools as well. Now, Canva is a web-based tool and it's a very mobile-friendly graphic design platform. Right? That makes it very, very useful. And it has been designed for beginners just like you or people who are just starting now. But it is powerful enough for professionals as well. It works directly on your browser. You don't need any software to be downloaded. You can access it from any of the devices, be it laptop, be it tablet, be it your mobile phone. Why it is popular? You don't have to use a lot of brain into it. Just has a drag and drop interface that makes it very convenient. No advanced design skills are needed. And interestingly, thousands of templates are available for almost all the purposes. You think about this is what I want to do, and you will find a template. It may not match 100%, but at least 90 to 95% it's going to match, and then you can make the changes according to that. Be it the posters, the flyers, the presentations, the invitations, resumes, social media posts, whatever you think of, you will find a template. And it's accessible anywhere. You are on the move, You suddenly remember, oh, I need to add that into my design, and you're traveling in the metro, open your phone, go to Canva, look at your design, edit it. Because it is cloud based, you don't have to worry about saving it. Whatever changes you have done, it gets stored. Other thing is it has a very good content library. You get a lot of free elements, the images, the icons, stickers, shapes, fonts, all those things are available. And then there are a lot of pro elements as well, although those are paid. You can get some premium images, very good templates, very advanced features. All those are available in the paid content. Also, you can upload your own photos, your logos, fonts to customize your design. It also gives you the facility of setting up your color palette and branding related stuff as well. Although it's in the paid elements, but those things are available. If you're going to use it for the commercial purposes, I would recommend you can go for the paid elements and set up everything there so that whenever, whatever you're designing, it is always consistent. Also, it has a lot of collaboration features. So if you're making a graphic design in a team and you have more than one person going to work on this design, then you can share the editable links with them, with your friends or the team members who can work on the same design. They can contribute in whatever capacity they want. You can also comment directly inside the design for the feedback so that whoever is working on that element can look at the feedback and incorporate it. You can export the design in various formats. You can export them as images, JPGs, PNGs. You can download as PDFs. You can download as MP4 for the videos. You can download as GIF images. So it makes it very, very versatile. Why it is very ideal for students? One, it is easy to learn. You don't have to spend extra effort in learning Canva. You can create your first design in minutes. It saves the time because it has the templates that speed up your creation. And whatever results Canva produces, they are very professional looking. You don't need any expensive tools like Photoshop, etc. You can use it for school projects, you can use it for social media content, you can use it for creating presentations, you can have your entrepreneurial ideas as well. Okay. Then comes the Adobe Express. This is again one of the free tools. We're not promoting Adobe Express, but this is also one of the tools that is available freely for anyone to use. It's again easy to use for beginners and students. Simple drag and drop interface. You don't need any prior design experience. You can create the social posts, social media posts, flyers, posters, banners, thumbnails. You can even create the short videos. It also has a lot of template and stock media. You get the templates for almost all the social channels, Insta, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. You have a lot of free stock photos, icons, shapes, and fonts, just like Canva. It also has seasonal and trending templates for the various festivals, the school events, the campaigns, etc. Now, Adobe Express, you can sync with your Adobe Creative Cloud. If you upgrade or if you already have the Adobe tools like Photoshop or Illustrator, you can actually sync up your assets across these set of tools. You can easily edit the design on your phone, tablet, laptop without losing progress. That's the beauty of the cloud-based solutions. Again, you can create your brand kit here. You can have your business logo, you can have the colors, fonts, everything set here. And that will give the very consistent look in whatever design that you are creating. You can create your own templates. You can reuse them for multiple posts. That will save time and effort. Uh, Same you can use for school projects, your entrepreneurship ideas, your content creation, etc. All right. Any questions so far before we move ahead? Vedika, Vishakha, Ishanya.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Great. Now let's look at this table. What makes a good poster? Clear and eye-catching headline is the first thing that you will see whenever you are looking at any of the graphic design. And it decides whether you are going to read anything in the graphic design after reading the headline, right? That is why it is very, very important. And how you make it clear and eye-catching, you always use short and powerful words. Your headline should not be more than 8 words. It should typically should range between 5 to 8 words so that it grabs the attention instantly. You can make your headlines bold, you can use larger font size, you can use a high contrast color against the background. That will make it clear and eye-catching. For example, your heading could be Save Water Awareness Drive, but you can use Water is Life, Save It, right? Save Water Awareness Drive does not create enough curiosity and excitement, whereas Water is Life, Save It create some curiosity and create some stickiness to it so that you go on and read and see, oh, okay, something is interesting there. Second is the high quality images and the graphics. Images and graphics are very, very important because it creates a emotional impact and it will create the memory in the viewer's eyes. So always use sharp, clear, and relevant visuals. Always avoid blurry or pixelated pictures unless there is a good reason to use it. You should always use high quality images. You can use free sources like FreePay, Magnify, Unsplash, Pixabay. There are a lot of images in the Canva, Adobe Express. You can use all those images, good quality images. Now, for example, if you're creating an environment poster, you can show a green forest so that people connect to it, or you can show a sapling in a hand, or clean blue water. Automatically, people get emotionally connected with the poster. The third thing is using the balance of text and the visual. There is a rule for good presentations, for good posters, for the good banners. The 70-30 rule always apply. The visual should be around the 70%, 30% should be text. Right? Any text heavy poster is very, very overwhelming. And if you are not using the visuals, it will make it dull. And always keep the sentences short. Use bullet points instead of paragraphs. That will catch the attention, convey the idea very quickly. For example, if you are creating a poster for a school event, then it can have a big central image and you can have 3-4 bullet points for details. That's one of the good example of the balanced poster. Fourth thing is there should always be a CTA, call to action. If you're creating a graphic design, there has to be something the viewer should do. Otherwise, you're just radiating the information. Poster is useful only when they know what to do after seeing it. And it can be a simple CTA, maybe join now, visit today, donate here, scan QR, register. But there has to be some action associated with each graphic. And to make your CTA stand out, you can use bright button style shapes. You can have the bold text. For example, if there is a workshop, you'll say register by so and so date, limited seats, right? And you can have a hyperlink that takes to the registration page, or this text itself could be in a button When you click on that, it takes you to that registration page. The last thing is, oh, sorry. The last thing is the poster should be readable from a distance, right? If you are having a physical poster printed and pasted on a wall, it should be readable from several meters away. If it is not readable enough, people will simply ignore it. You must have observed this in your societies. Important messages, whenever they are posted, placed outside the elevators, if they are not readable when you are walking, there are likely chances you will ignore it and you will not read it. Your headline font size should be at least 60 to 100 points, depending upon the poster size. For a typical A4 poster, for a headline to grab the attention from few meters, it has to be 60 to 100 points. Your subtext can be around 23 to 36 points. Have the high contrast between the text and the background so that without any effort, the idea is read well. Those are some of the tips for the good poster. Now let's look at the social media post that will not be printed and pasted anywhere, but it will be viewed on devices. 5 things that you should consider when you're creating the good social media post. One, it has to be visually appealing. It has to align with the brand colors. Always use high quality images, well-designed graphics so that it grabs the attention. Your color palette should always be consistent with your design. You should always avoid busy backgrounds because simplicity makes the message stand out. Second, the text that you're going to use in the social media post has to be short and engaging, and there has to be clear message, right? You keep your captions very concise, 1 to 3 sentences for the younger audience. Remember, people are having shorter and shorter attention span. So the shorter the messages, the clear messages, it will be consumed well. If it is a long message, there are likely chances they will not read the message itself. Always start with a hook or a question that creates the interest in that post itself, so that people should stop scrolling and see, oh, this is interesting, let me read it. You should always clearly state the benefit, what idea or a update. Don't leave the followers confused, figuring out, oh, what was this post all about? There has to be clear takeaway from the post. You should use hashtag and tagging for increasing the reach. And it has to be a relevant hashtag, at least 2, up to 5 or 6 relevant hashtags. And it should not be just random ones. It should be relevant that will connect with the target audiences. In one of the sessions previously, we spoke about the importance of hashtag. Those are the things that you are going to use to search the relevant content. If you have the right hashtag, there are likely chances that your post will be figured out. You should tag the relevant people, brand, or location to increase the visibility. For example, if you are posting about your school itself, something you did at the school, tag your school so that all the students, all the teachers, people associated with the school, they're also going to look at the thing that you are posting. While hashtags are very, very important, don't use a lot of hashtags. If you're using too many hashtags, then they gives the impression that it is a spam. Then your social media post should always be optimized for the platform dimensions. You must have observed when you put out an image on Facebook versus Insta versus YouTube versus any other social media platform, not all images appear as you're uploading because the preview is something different. How it will be viewed on the device is important. For example, in Insta, the square images are good. It's well, shows up very well. Whereas if you're putting a story, the dimensions are different. So you should crop your images properly so that your text and elements doesn't get cut off. And you should check your design. How does it look like on mobile versus what does it look like on a laptop? Sometimes it looks good on the mobile, whereas on the laptop it may be looking a little different. So try those views. On the CTAs, you should always have some interaction. For example, comment your thoughts, tag a friend, share if you agree, like, subscribe, whatever it is, there has to be some CTA attached to it. You can have engaging questions, you can create small polls, you can create quizzes. And as you get the comments on your social media post, make sure that you're responding to those comments. That will increase the interaction onto the post and it will make it more engaging. The conversation should always go on. Some of the tips, again, iterating, start simple, avoid cluttering. We should use consistent fonts and colors. Experiment with various templates before creating from scratch. Templates are wonderful tools to organize your idea into what you want to convey. It's good layouts, color combinations, font pairing, etc. etc. You should proofread your text before publishing. This you must have also observed in your daily life. If there is a spelling mistake, if there is a wrong information, then the design conveys a very wrong image about the design. You should check your grammar, your spelling, your accuracy, all those things. And try to get the feedback from your friends. Get their idea. What do they feel? Do they feel connected with it? Is the message clear? Is it attractive? Is there anything confusing? One or two people, if you share, you will get the idea of whether it is being perceived well or not. Okay. You can use these design tips to improve your graphic design for whatever purpose you are creating and make it very visually appealing. All right, so here comes the assignment for you. Again, your business idea, keep in mind. Now you have to design a poster or a banner for your business idea. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to apply the basics of graphic design that was learned in this module, and you're going to create a visually appealing professional looking poster or banner that will promote your digital business idea. Okay. How you will do it? You have to choose the tool, what you want to use. You can use Canva, you can use Adobe Express, you can use any other tool as well. Or if you want to use something on your laptop and not be dependent on the cloud-based tools, you can actually hand draw your posters as well. Then you can scan and click a photo as well. Decide your poster or the banner size. What is that you are preparing this for? Is this a A4 size? Is this a A3 size? Whether it will be shared digitally, whether it will be printed, you have to decide what size you are designing. And if you're making it for social media, again, keep the dimensions into mind. Insta, it should be square. Facebook, it has to be, I think, 4:5. Check all those sizes. Then your post should have the business name. Again, keep it catchy and easy to read. I'm sure you must have decided on what my business name is, how to keep it catchy and easy. Previous two assignments have been asking for that business name. Again, it has to be catchy, it has to be easy to read. Then logo you must have designed so far. If not, then create a simple logo. You can use shapes, icons, text, whatever you want your logo to look like. Have a tagline. This was given as the assignment in, I think, module 1. Use that tagline. has to be a short, memorable phrase that explains your brand. And you should use at least one image, high quality image. You can have illustrations. You can also create graphic yourself, but it has to be relevant to your business. Fifth thing that should be included is the call to action. Okay, there has to be a call to action. Visit our web page, follow us on Insta, follow us on Facebook, whatever it is, there has to be a CTA attached to it. Again, the color palette that you have decided so far for your business, that should be used, 2 to 3 main colors. Keep your fonts clear and readable. I'm sure you must have created the brand kit for your business so far. What colors to use, what fonts to use, what size to be used, what styles to be used. And then make sure your text and visuals are well balanced in your design. There is enough space and your design doesn't look cluttered and overcrowded, right? When you're designing this, think about the target audience, what will attract them, and then design your graphic design. Again, use illustrations that matches to the product or the service that you're offering through your business. You can have a unique element added in the poster. It could be a slogan banner, it can be a fun icon, it can be a creative border. Whatever it is, try to have one unique element. Now, you can create this poster, you can submit as a PDF. You can also submit this as a JPG, depending upon what is convenient to you. Upload it onto the shared drive and then close the form. Once you have uploaded all the 10 assignments, you'll be able to submit the form. Otherwise, upload and then close it. This assignment will be evaluated on 4 parameters. One, how unique and engaging is your design? Your creativity, your originality matters the most. Second, is the messaging very clear? Is it easy to understand what your business does? Just looking at the graphic design. Then, are you using the colors, fonts, layouts very effectively? The design quality, how is the design quality? And lastly, does it include all the required elements? Is it complete? Your business name, your logo, your tagline, image, CTA, all those elements should be included. And if you need any help, any questions, you can always reach out to us. Any questions, Vishakha, Vedika, Ishanya?
No, sir.
No,
Okay. Okay, all right. So if no questions, let's close this session here itself. And if you have any of the questions later, you can always reach out to us over the WhatsApp. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow.